So yeah, as I'm getting the feel for this whole game, like I have some trials and errors, like I completely fumble that little like jump and I die. So basically the thing with Donkey Kong Country, it's not like there's like a health bar. It's basically you get hit once and you're dead. So basically you have to have Diddy Kong and Donkey Kong with you and they basically serve as your lives. So if there's two of them, you have two lives, I guess you can say. Look, so as that's the DK barrel. So Donkey Kong, he got brought back, but then I got hit as Diddy Kong. So now I have to bring back Diddy Kong, because if I get hit as Donkey Kong, then I die like completely. So yeah, that's the whole point. It's just like an extra life, basically, or not an extra life, extra like health bar. So yeah, I just completely fumble that. Get the DK bar barrel, and yeah, it's just walking, and yeah, there you go. That's what happens if you get hit without like having like a spare, like like a Donkey Kong or Diddy Kong. So yeah, that little bird, it can be annoying if you don't know what you're doing. So if you collect three of these little bird thingies, I guess, and I guess like other animals, you'll knock like a little mini game. It's kind of like this. It's just like I believe you get like every 100. I believe it's like an extra life. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I just keep getting these little birds, these golden birds, and yeah, I think like I said, per every 100 is one extra life. So that's the 100 right there, and then you get, well, I got like 53 more seconds. So yeah, and there's like a few like more like areas. There's like 3 areas in total, I believe. So yeah, just keep jumping. I already got 200, so that's, I believe, 2 extra lives right there. And I got 30 more seconds. Pretty cool. I don't really do much of these because I don't really focus on collecting like those golden things, but this is just an example of what would happen if you did. So yeah, that's 316. So I believe that's yeah, look at that, 3 more extra lives. There you go. So now that that's over, you spawn back where like that little spawn point barrel is, and then that's that annoying little bird right there. I managed to get away from that. And there is like a little, if you broke that box, which I'm about to right now, it's like a rideable animal, the little rhinoceros. So it's pretty cool, pretty cool. You get a lot of these, I believe there's one like every like new island. So yeah, like there's little like secret areas like that where like it has some stuff. That's an extra life right there, that little balloon. So yeah, there's a lot of these like secret stuff if you want to 100% the game, which I'm not going to. I just want to complete the story. That's what I'm gonna do. And I guess I just found another one on accident. And yeah, I had no idea what that was, but completely butchered it. But has nothing to do with the main story, so it doesn't actually matter. So yeah, this little rhinoceros, just doing this thing, and yeah, we finally make it to the exit in this first level. So yeah, that's basically the gist. King K. Rool stole all of Donkey Kong's bananas, and Donkey Kong is trying to get them all back. So yeah, pretty straightforward, I would say. So yeah, there's like little things that I have like not learned at like this point as I'm playing. Like you could like do like a far jump, which I haven't learned how to do, and yeah, so it's like it makes a lot of things way harder for me, in this little moment, like I just completely butcher stuff, and it's like it takes a little while to get that reaction time, like as if you're like barely learning the game, because this is an old game. They're like newer games, so you gotta like adapt to like this older style. So yeah, I had a lot of fun like learning how to like adapt to these things, because it's different. It's not like these new games that they make today. And like I said earlier, like they got that new Donkey Kong game, which I can't get yet because I'm broke. I don't have that Switch 2, and yeah, we all know the little controversies behind that console. So, but yeah, my brother's got the Super NES, or I don't know if it's a Super or the regular, but he has it, and I'm just This is what I'm actually playing on, by the way. This is my brother's NES. I'm playing on Donkey Kong Country in his NES. So he has a lot of games, so maybe I'll play more classic games on that. But yeah, look at this. He's always bugged me for as long as I remember living. Like, he's always like been jealous because I guess my cousins back in the day, they had a Donkey Kong Country on like a NES or a Super NES back in the day, and like they would play it, and he never got the chance to play it. So he was like always had been jealous, I guess, and he's like always told me like, oh, I want to play this game, I want to play this game. And he finally got the NES, like when like they started making new ones again for whatever reason. So yeah, you know, he played it finally, and then, you know, like I just randomly thought, you know, like with this new Donkey Kong game coming out, what does a Donkey Kong game like feel like? Because I've never played a Donkey Kong game. So I was like very curious. And I want to try it out for myself. And yeah, that's basically like the whole gist of why I'm playing this classic game rather than playing the new Banzana or whatever the new one's called. But yeah, and then plus I'm broke, so you know I don't have the Switch 2. So yeah, this is what we're working with. If I had the new Switch 2, I would definitely be uploading that too. But you know, you gotta do best with the budget you have, I guess. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's pretty nice. You know, there's a lot of times that I die a lot that I've cut out because man, it'd be like over and over and over and over. Like, you know, like we understand, you know, like it's taking a while. You could probably see like little like context clues, like maybe like when I die and respawn, like the lies are way less than, you know, than when it was when I died. So that's probably like a bunch of times that I've cut out of just me dying in the same place over and over. So yeah, honestly, this might as well just be a yap fest with Donkey Kong Country. Yeah, pretty cool. And another thing, you know, like you can probably like tell like there's no audio of the actual game. For whatever reason, OBS did not capture the audio. I heard the audio as I was playing the game, but for whatever reason it didn't capture the audio into the actual clip. So, you know, I mean, yeah, I made it work, you know, like I'm obviously uploading this right now, but you know, it's not the way I would have wanted it to be. You know, I wanted to have the actual audio and just be like voicing over like I am right now. But this works too, you know. This is how it's going to be the whole Let's Play, because I have everything like clipped already. So yeah, none of it has audio, so it's just going to be like a little jungle music that I have going on right now. So yeah, you know, like these little wasps, I hate these, by the way. You know, like these you can't, like, you know, like the other mobs, like you can like just jump on them or roll on them. These wasps, you just can't. Like they're just like, you can't kill them unless you have like a bomb or something, like a TNT. There's no way to actually kill them like by touching them. You know, you have to use like a projectile. So yeah, I believe my brother said something like in the new Donkey Kong games, like they start having like health bars. But yeah, like this is what we gotta do for the classic Donkey Kong Country one. You know, just basically just don't get hit. Just don't get hit because you're cooked if you do. So yeah, with the armadillos, by the way, you can't roll into them because yeah, when they're rolling, like they'll just roll over you, I guess. And then there's like some like big buff crocodiles, but like Diddy Kong can't kill. You know, you have to kill them with Donkey Kong. So yeah. So we got these little underwater levels, and as you're gonna see right now, you can die from a little fish. You can't roll in this underwater level, so you're just basically swimming and dodging. The only way you can kill something is by getting like I don't know what they're called, like little pointy nosed fishes. It's like a little rideable animal in this little thing. But yeah, you know, there's like another one later on. Not in this video. It's gonna be like the other island where it's like they have like some annoying like octopuses. That thing actually. That thing, but it's more annoying in the other underwater level, where it's like they go very fast and it's like you gotta be on your A game 24/7. So this is like the little pointy nose fish thing I was talking about. If you like ram into a fish with the nose, then yeah, you're gonna be able to, what's it called, to kill them. But the octopuses, they can't die either, just like the wasps. But yeah, and the thing is, you have to hit them with the nose. If you get hit like above like that, you're not gonna be able to do anything about it. So yeah, basically keep them at the nose lane. Don't let them get above that, then because you're gonna get hit. And the octopuses, yeah, like I said, they can't die. So just a little heads up on that, so you guys understand what's going on. And yeah, pretty easy, pretty straightforward, I would say. You know, I believe the only time I died in this one was just that beginning little time, and the rest was just flawless. So yeah, I mean, this one is pretty easy once you learn how to, you know, get the hang of what's going on. And yeah, I got hit, but basically you just gotta keep dodging those fishes. And what can be hard on is the little clam thingy right there that just spits out stuff, little pearls. But as I was saying, like, you have to have like you have to be like on your A game, and your reaction time has to be on their A game, because fishes can just come out of nowhere and just hit you. And that's what you'll learn in the next months or whatever when I upload the next underwater one. So this is Funky Kong. This, I guess, little station is like where you can like travel with like an airplane, like to different islands, or different islands. So we're obviously in the first one, and yeah, we don't, it's kind of useless right now because we can't really go anywhere. But yeah, so we just go on to the next level. The next level. Hey, man, things are just trip walking. Things are just walking, you know? So you just keep doing that stuff. And so there's a lot of things too, like you have to make sure you don't fall on like certain jumps, things like that. You have to be careful where you're landing. You know what I mean? Because if you don't, you are gonna die. You are gonna fall into a bottomless pit just like I did. You know what I mean? So yeah, just gotta keep going and doing what we gotta do. You know, pretty slick with it, And these little barrels, these can prove to be annoying at some point in the game. I believe it's the ice level. Man, they get annoying. I'll tell you that for sure. These things get annoying. Oof. And those little elephant things, it's like the same thing like the bear. I'm pretty sure it's like they probably got like levels like the bear where you can get a bunch of like golden coins, and like once, I think every 100 is like an extra life. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm not focused on that. I'm just focused on the story. You probably do it for 100% in the game, but for me, really serves no purpose, to be honest. So yeah, we gotta watch out where you're rolling too, because yeah, like you can just roll into something right there in this moment. I thought I died, honestly, because I thought it just like jumped straight into that crocodile, but you know, I landed into the barrel luckily. And this, you know, this is scary because if you roll too far, you're gonna die. You know, I don't know, I can just jump on them, but this is just me like getting the feel of the game still the first island, so I'm not as the pro as I would have been in like the later levels, as I've already gotten used to things, you know. Thankfully, you know, it was just straight up and straight back down, but imagine if it was like a different barrel, you know. So that's why you gotta be very careful with these things, because it's just straight back to the drawing board if you miss. That's just this thing with these games, and once you see those little arrows, it's basically like indicating like you're close to the exit. There it is right there, you know what I mean? And man, I almost got hit. I almost fumbled right at the end. But yeah, here is Candy Kong, which she saves your progress, basically. So like, let's say if you get like a game over, like you will have up to this point saved, and you want to do up to that point, you know. You don't have to redo up to that point. But yeah, like anything after that, you know. Yeah, so this is the boss. This is the boss. I think it's like something naughty. Forgot his actual name. But yeah, this one's pretty easy. You just gotta jump on his head over time. All he does is just speeds up. But yeah, just keep jumping on his head over and over. It's timing, pretty straightforward. And yeah, that is the first island of Donkey Kong Country, the first out of 7, I believe. So yeah, pretty easy, pretty easy. See you to the next ones.